Saturday morning, still quite many turn out, more than I expected. Brother John told me usually about 10 people, so we have almost doubled today. So praise the Lord. Just to keep the expectations correct, it's not going to be a preaching, it's not going to be a teaching, but the goal is to create awareness in you about this topic about financial freedom, financial literacy, and also create a sense of urgency that you know what is happening, and also give you a hint what we can do in this particular area. So 2 days ago I was sharing in the JB Chinese Pastors Fellowship. About 50 pastors was there. So I told them, actually I'm the most unqualified to share among the pastors. I didn't attend Bible seminary, I'm not a pastor, I'm not a full-time church worker, and I'm not an expert to say this. But I told them I only have one thing, that I praise God for the last 30 years, how God taught me and tested me many times in this area about finance, and has blessed me tremendously from the pit, owing to lots of money, to the heights, and then how God changed me and taught me how to manage money. So this is what I am doing now with Brother Stephen Low. Many of you know him. Together we are doing Compass course, as well as I created another program called BMW, Biblical Mastery of Wealth. So this is what I want to share with you to give you a rough idea what the framework of this biblical wealth from a biblical perspective. Okay, so yeah, you saw Brother Josh Neo, our BSF, Brother Stephen was there also. These are the classes we have done before. Okay, so as we begin, can I invite all of you to stand up? I'm going to ask you a question. At the end of the question, I say 1, 2, 3. All of you are going to respond together. Okay? If you agree, you say yes to the question, you have to take action. You say yes, yes, yes 3 times. If you don't agree, you just fold your hands. Then I know. And if you don't know or not sure about it, just do nothing. And then I'll probably send you to Pastor Kelvin for counseling. Just a joke. Okay, are you ready for the first question? I ask the same question everywhere I go. So after I ask, I say 1, 2, 3, then we answer. Is money important? 1, 2, 3.
Yes.
Okay. We have many honest people. Even among the pastors, their response is mostly yes. So I told them they are not so holy actually. When I talk to money, everybody's so excited. Okay, please sit down. So yes, money is very important. Whether you are Christian, non-Christian, wherever you are, whatever you do, this is a topic we cannot run away from. So second questions, I won't ask you to answer, but let's look at it. We hear this very frequently, cash is king, money is king. Or in Chinese it says, 钱不是万能但没钱也万万不能. Right? Money is not everything, but without money also we can do many things we cannot do. Okay? So, what is more important than money then? Yeah. And this question is to create that thoughts, a hint to the young people especially, wherever you are. What is more important than money? So you don't answer. A student, a disciple once asked a rabbi, about this question. So he asked Rabbi, what is more important than money? The rabbi didn't answer him. The rabbi said, have you ever been close to a person who is dying? He asked back the student, have you ever been close to a person who is about to die? That person will give you the most accurate answer for this question. At different times of our life, we probably answer this differently. When we are young, just came out of study, you probably, money is the most important, nothing else. Everything is money. Okay? But there will come a time you will know that there are many other things more important than this, and you will prioritize your life correctly. So finally the rabbi tell him, that person will ask, if he's about to die, he won't ask, how much money left in my safe box? How much money do I still have in my bank account? It's not important anymore. He most probably will ask, where is my son? Where's my grandchildren? Family love is more important. It will come a time you will realize that there are other things more important than money. So why is money important? Why we have to talk in church or in any place? Yeah, I try to do this topic not only in churches but in other outside organizations also. In Bible alone, there are 2,350 verses that relates to money. A lot of people are not aware of this. Yeah, 2,350, 15% of what Jesus said is related to money. And 25% of his parables are also money related. What does all this tell us as a Christian in particular? And money is a major competitor for our devotions, seeking to divert us away from God. Matthew 6:24, you all know that. Yeah? And money problems make us unfruitful. The parable of sower also tells us. The anxiety, the worry of this world makes you not able to get close to God. And this is very true. Statistics globally actually, not only Malaysia, Malaysia is 43%. More than 40% of family disputes and divorce is due to money. So how can we not take this seriously? And number 4, lack of financial literacy resulting in poor financial planning. The end is insufficient retirement funds and debt. And you will probably hear this very frequently, especially this year in Malaysia. Bank Negara, EPF, Ministry of Finance, Ministry of Education, even our Prime Minister himself has repeatedly emphasized we have to increase the financial literacy level in Malaysia in particular. You'll see that in the next 2 slides. EPF just, I think it's September. EPF says Malaysians, you need at least 1 million if you want to retire in 20 years' time. You need at least 1 million. That means when you retire at 60s and to live 20 more years, you need at least 1 million from 60 years old to 80 years old. At least 1 million to live reasonable. I mean, not living luxury, living just reasonable to cover your monthly expenses. I give you an illustration. Just assume you spend 2,500 a month. Okay, whether it's sufficient or you think about it. 2,500 a month times 12 months is 30,000 a year. Times 20 years, 600,000 already. Haven't included your medical and many other things. Just normal living, you need about that money. We say minimum 600,000. Okay, EDF later says 1 million, including inflation for the years. You imagine, and that is not exaggerating. Okay, and the situation we have as at December 31st last year. Is that highlighted? Okay. 6.7 million contributors have less than 10,000 in their account. Those age 55. Can you imagine what's going to happen with this? Okay, let me give you a little more clearer. 6.7 million contributors would probably work out to be 4 million households. Because some are couple working, so you consider 2 members. Some only 1 person working. So let's say it's 4 million households, and one household in Malaysia, statistics says 3.8%. We round it up to 4%. 4 times 4, 16 million. Our population, 32 million. So more than 50% of Malaysians have less than 10,000 in their EPF account. And government says we need 1 million. You know why government is getting anxious? It's not only Malaysia, many countries, they are worried about this, especially in Southeast Asia. But Singapore, US, Europe, they're doing much, much better. They have planned about it, they have taught their people about financial literacy, how to plan, how to invest much earlier. And they give incentives. So Malaysia is trying to catch up. And if they don't do, you can imagine our government is very nice, all of us know, right? Our government is very, very nice government. Especially come to election or whatever. Very nice. And can you imagine who's going to pay for these people? In 20 years, it might not affect you. So just now I said, the goal today is to create awareness as well as urgency in each one of us individually and collectively. To the people you know, your family members, your relatives, your close friends. Everybody got to wake up. Yeah? Somebody will have to pay for this. And you know who it is. And the next issue happens every day. Scams. I'm here only statistics about investment scams. 5 cases per day. Investment alone hasn't included your bank account being used, haven't included those false adoption, all kinds of things. And this is very interesting, right? 150 people lose 830 million. So is this poor people or rich people? Even the rich ones are being scammed. Okay? The very rich businessmen are also being scammed. We thought they're the smartest, they know how to make money, right? They are also one of the targets. And what about the rest? These people, some people say, poor guy, let them be, they're so rich, right? But what about the poor one? Those working class. They too fell into this, unfortunately. And you imagine our government, many governments are doing the same thing. If those who are businessmen, you know, right? Can you lose money every year? Okay, if you're a startup, Brother Victor, I heard you're having some startups. So if you're a startup in a business, yes, maybe the first 5 years you're losing money, or if your business requires a long recovery or long research time to be fruitful, maybe 10 years, 15 years, okay? Lose money for 15 years. Our government has been losing money 28 years. What I meant by that is the recent budget, you can also see deficit. 28 years consecutively, we have been in deficit. Where do you think? The idea is always future money. I will make more money in the future to recover, to repay. And then I keep subsidize, I keep giving goodies. What will that bring us? Okay, not our country only. US also doing the same thing now. Everybody is using on future money. So inflation, you think, expect prices of things will fall down in years to come? It will only be worse, brothers and sisters. Okay, so these are the background, why we need to learn financial literacy, why we need to be. So our courses are based on these 5, the framework, and these 5 elements in it. The first part, okay, I will go straight to it. The first part is to understand God's original intention. When God created Garden of Eden, what did God say? It's all good, right? In fact, it's perfect. It's good. And God blessed Adam and Eve and asked them, provide for them. Everything is for you to eat. Yeah? All the animals, all the plants, all the fruits, everything is for you. God's original intention for us is blessing. Is abundance, is provision. But unfortunately, when we come to the second part, the effects of sin of fallen world, in the book of, how come it becomes gender? Sorry, it should be Genesis. So the book of Genesis 1 and 2, we know of Adam's and Eve's sins, and hence there is a curse. Yeah? There's a curse. We have to sweat, to work, to gain resources from the earth. But we know this process used to be very simple one because God created everything perfect. You can just draw from it. Now you have to sweat already. There's a difference. So there's a consequence to this form. Understand these two, understand God's original intentions, then God did not stop there. Then there's work of redemption. Yeah? After the fall, God has replanned that Jesus Christ will come and those who believe will be redeemed from sin and from curse. And the second part, the second R is not only to redeem us from sin and curse, but to reconcile all things. And these reconciliations includes reconciling man to God and also to restore us back to that position that God intended. And this leads us to the third point, is to respond to God's sovereignty. No, God has the right to do, to act as He wishes. And we are just to respond to that call. That stewardship call is the same function or same intention God had at the very beginning. He put Adam at the Garden of Eden. He said, care for it, right? Multiply. Make use of all this and multiply it, care for it, take care of it. But God is the one who owns it. God created it. And that is a stewardship call. And we are to restore to that position that God has created. So that call also means we have to be accountable for our time, our talents, our resources, which include wealth. And under this recognizing and responding, we have 5 sub-points. Number 1 is we have to develop the right attitude towards wealth. Change our mindset from ownership to stewardship. This is a very hard part for many people, especially if you are not a believer or you grew up in a non-believer family and then you converted, you came to the next one. It's very difficult because many people, they struggle in life, then they work very hard and finally become very well off. Then they came to know Jesus. You tell them, it's not mine, it's God's. You think it's easy. They will tell you, you crazy. It's me. People are like that. It's me. I'm the one who work hard. I fight for it. It's mine. But this change of mindset from ownership to stewardship, until you learn this, you will always be a slave to money. In your mind, at the very least. Okay? And the second part of our attitudes is to change from ingratitude to gratitude. We will learn a little bit more later. And the third part is contentment to contentment. Yeah, many people are never contented. I mean, you probably have friends who have tens or hundreds of millions in assets, but they are still working and working very hard, right? Never enough, and they cannot stop because they stop. We know of a friend. He's so rich already. I think he's near more than 100 million. But he's working very hard. You seldom see him in his house. When you ask him, he said, I cannot stop because my friends are keep coming with new business, keep having new franchise. I must follow. Otherwise, I'll become second grade when I mix with them. So what are they pursuing? Back to the first question, what is more important than life? They've lost everything. They've lost their mind. Unfortunately, all they have is keep pursuing money. They thought that gives them the status, that gives them the satisfaction. But if money can satisfy, they will have stopped. But money doesn't satisfy. They are still looking for something to satisfy them. Number 2, recognizing and responding is to change our lifestyles from self-sufficient individualism to community concept of koinonia. It's a partnership, it's a fellowship. And from compulsion of work to sabbath rest. This part together, these two is that if you recognize God is a provider, God is a source, and God is sovereign, you will learn to rest. And you will know God will provide. Later I'll share you some testimonies, real situations what God did in my life. And I can tell you, you have to learn this to go very far. Yeah? Otherwise your health will suffer at the end, like many people say. You work the first 40 years of your life, or 10 over years study, 40 years working like a cow, left 20 years, you thought you are retired, going to enjoy, but the last 20 years you are paying your bills to the doctors and hospital. Okay? So this is what we have to learn, and what we talk about individualism is not about you only. When God created the world, Adam and Eve, everything, it's not only for them. God told them to multiply, also to share. And you'll find greater satisfaction once you realize this principle. And third is to understand how to use our wealth as God intended. Of course, we have to support our family. Of course, we have to support in the ministry work, mission, supporting the full-time workers, full-time NGOs, and it's about giving to the poor and needy. And here I talk about when we talk about giving, we are not about give only when you see somebody come and ask for donate. Okay lah, I donate a few hundred, it's okay. Like feel good charity. No, that's not what we're talking. We are talking about active, committed giving. Yeah, whether you give to church on a sort of percentage or you give to some sponsorship, some monthly donation. You are committed for a long period of time to support something, to make changes. And I say, give when it hurts, give when you are still alive. In the Bible, there is a story about the widow and the rich man, we know. The widow only had 2 pence or 2 coins and she gave, whereas the rich man gave a bag of coins. But Jesus said, the widow gave more. How could it be? From our worldly, logical sense, a bag of coins versus 2 coins is not. But God sees the heart. And I want to share a testimony now. What about give when it hurts? And committed giving. So, I ask a question, how many of you have owed a lot of money before? Apart from your housing loan and your car loans. You owe many other loans. How many? Wow. Okay. What was the highest amount? Can I ask roughly? Don't talk about your investment because you invest in something, you buy property, you have property, you have assets, so the net is not, okay? I'm saying that other than that, because you really have no money, you borrow and borrow, you're negative, very negative. Anyone? Huh? Yeah. How much you think you maximum you are in negative? Brother, you also raise your hand, 300,000, okay. You have to add many zeros to it, in my case. Back in 1994-95, I owe 10 million. 1994-95. Okay, it's not me actually. I just came back from Australia after my study and just started working as an internal auditor with KPMG. So my salary then was about 2005. Yeah. So my father was doing business. My father passed away. Not to discredit him, he was a nice man and really I love him very much. So he owed 10 million. He was doing business. He's doing a second-hand car dealer. He's doing timber business. Also doing illegal lottery, 4D. Okay, very common in those days. Yeah? So he owed 10 million. And the most interesting part, brothers and sisters, 8 million were owing to loan sharks. 30 loan sharks. Can you imagine what kind of life would be at that point of time? And what you see in newspaper, in news is kacang putih lah. The pain, the shouting, it's more than that. Can you imagine morning till night, midnight also they come, bang your door, begging for somebody. What's next? All the threats. Tomorrow you lose your hand. Tomorrow you lose your son. Those are things keep coming from months and years. I think for within a year we settled. Can you imagine those days? So 10 million at 1994-95. Today's term is 30 million, brothers and sisters. So a few more zeros behind now. And I was a Christian when I was in college, 18 years old in Subang Taylor's College. Then I went to Australia, I came back. And you know what the neighbors say? Neighbors, okay, 8 million owed to loan shark, another 2 million. A few 100,000 is to bank only a few 100,000 bank. The rest is to relatives, neighbors. You know what they say? So all because of you, you became a Christian. 财神爷不喜欢阿门的。The God of fortune doesn't like Christians, don't like amen. It's because of you, your father's business went bankrupt. It's because of you. So I felt very bad, but I know very well. Thank God. Just short years of knowing God, I experienced God's provision, blessing. I learned to trust God in money. So I took up the challenge. Then I told my dad I will find a way to settle this. Talk only lah. earn 2,500 a month, how to settle 10 million? You pay interest also not enough. Imagine what is loan shark's interest. Do you know what is loan shark's interest? 50% a year, easily. Okay, higher than that also have. So 8 million, 50% is 4 million a year. How to pay? So I just start to talk to the loan shark. Okay, my father still have a land. We sell the land and the house. Only we managed to get 800,000 net. Okay, so I start to talk to the loan shark. Not 30 together. If 30 together, I die again. You won't see me here today. I talk to them one by one. One of them said, "Huh, 就是你啊, you are the one, you are the Christian that we heard, huh? 就是你搞鬼, you are the one who create all the trouble." I told me one thing that I was stunned. Because you are Christian, 你是基督徒，我们不搞你。Have you heard this before? Because you are Christian, I don't want to touch you. Loan shark don't want to touch me because I'm a Christian. Can you imagine that? Only God can do this, I tell you. Only God is able to protect us. Only God is able. So I told him, then help me. Help me with this. I have 800,000, I'm going to pay 8 million. So 1 to 10. I owe you 100,000, I pay you 10,000. Anyway, all the loan sharks do that. He accepted. The only one accepted out of 30. And I told him, don't use that. You accepted it, I still have to face the 29. Anyone don't accept, anyone can come tomorrow and chop my father. And actually, I told them, honestly, I told them the same thing. Just chop my father, actually, very easy. Then I still have 800,000 to support my mom and to carry through for the rest of our life, to do my things. Of course, we don't talk it properly to provoke them. No, I say, it's the worst case that's going to happen. You have to accept it. And he went to talk to the other 29. And finally, they accepted. We used 800,000 to pay off 8 million. If not God, you think you can. How many, who of you want to try this? But don't go and borrow loans. Okay, I'm not telling you borrow and then pray, ask God to help. No. Don't ever try it. But God put me in that situation, I learned. Before that, I learned to trust God and money. And now this case, He proved to me again, He's the one. Okay? I share with you second about committed giving and give and hands. Just at that very time when I'm earning 2,500, still owing that money, okay? I still have 2 million to pay. A church uncle who visited hospital to visit those who are about to die, okay? Terminal illness at JB Downtown. He took bus 1995 from Johor to JB Town. Those days the broad highway is not done. It can take you an hour to 1.5 hours, okay? If traffic jam. So he was late and missed the visiting time. So he talked to me, I think I need to get a time second hand 5,000. If you can help me 3,000, then I will find the rest. Why you find me? I'm the poorest of all the people. Why you find me at this time? He knows my condition, okay? He knows my condition. We are in the same cell group. And he prayed for me. And yet he asked me for this. Logical mind, gila. So I just ignored him. I heard but I pretend, do 3 days, cannot sleep. Day and night, 3,000. The 3,000 will keep coming to me until I cannot sleep. Then I told God, what do you want me to do? I mean, I still owe 2 million. I don't even know how to feed myself for the next month, to pay it. No answer. No answer, I tell you. And that burden is in me until. And then I told God, I said, I give 3,000. I don't know how. Okay, I still work part-time. I drive motorbike to Singapore, do account for people at midnight. After my work in JB, I do account for other brothers in church, just to earn a few hundred more. So I get the 3,000 when I don't have money. Within a very short 2 months, I got a new job. My income doubled. Double, my friend. And this doubling of my income not happened once, 5 times in my life. 5 times in my life, God made this doubling. Can you imagine? Just use 1,000. 1,000 double 2,000. 2,000 double 4,000. 4,000 double become 8. 8 becomes 16. And God did it 5 times. Imagine what is the amount I'm making. One more. Committed giving. I went to a church in Yong Peng. I'm from Yong Peng, but I've never been to church in Yong Peng. I get to know God in KL, then I went to Australia. I came back in JB. So I've never been to church in Yong Peng. That was 2015 already. After becoming a Christian for more than 15 years, I think, at least. 18 years. So I went to this church in Yong Peng. It's a Chinese church. Our childhood friends were there, so he invited us, so we just went. First time going to church. And the pastor was talking, okay, our church want to send young people to Bible college, Bible seminary. For each person is 800 ringgit. They need 800 ringgit a month sponsor. I also listened to me. First time church, not my church also. Again, went back, same burden fell upon me. I don't know, I just called up. I called up the church the next day. They don't know me. First time they don't know me, only friends, but I didn't tell my friends. I called up, I said, I need to get your bank account. I committed to give the 800 a month. Okay, for 2 years. Without telling them, I just tell them I want to make some donation. I didn't tell them how I will do it, but in my heart I already decided I want to give 800 a month to them. 2 years. So 9,006 times 2. Okay? I have a property in Kulai, just completed the factory. So I told you how from nothing, God brought me to peak with sufficient. I would say I'm super rich, but more than enough. So this property just completed. In that area, there are about 80 units of this factory. I've not been rented for 6 months. And after I commit to this, within a week, an agent called. Okay, first time agent, I have a customer firm take your unit. Haven't even seen the unit, I haven't even passed him key to go and have a look. Confirm want to take your unit. Rental 8,500. Okay, more than 10 times what I gave, right? 4 years later, actually I originally thought to give 2 years, but I actually gave 4 years to the church. 4 years later, we called agents to find out the market rate in the area. Okay, to say that property I rented out, how much is the market rate? 6,500. You know what is interesting here? Which means my unit is one of the earliest to rent out of the 80 units. In addition, God gave me 2,000 more. Okay? It's 4 years later, they still 6,500 now. I've been renting at 8,500 God gave me 2,000 a month for 48 months. In advance, 96,000. I gave 9,600 a year. God gave me 96,000. This is what I teach you. If you learn to hand your money to God and know you are only a steward, you will see God multiply for you in many, many areas. Okay? Even recently, this happened again. Okay? So I don't want to share so much, right? This is the giving we want. A committed giving and not one time. Committed giving to NGOs, to anything you want, not necessarily church, but as a sign that you are submitting to God, as a sign that you want to obey. Okay? And give them hurts, as I said. It really hurt. I didn't give with smile when I gave the 3,000 to the uncle. I gave with lots of anxiety and everything. But I know something has to be done. I gave. If you want to wait until you think, oh, I settle my this loan, I settle this and that, very difficult. When you earn 2,000 to give a little bit is easier. Then when you earn 200,000 a month to ask you to give 20,000, I think you will find hundreds and thousands of excuses not to give. If you don't learn how to give when you have little, when you have a lot, the chances are very difficult. Or you'll be giving like the rich man, I just explore. You will not experience that kind of miracles if that's you are stingy with. Okay? So this is what I will share with you. So the fourth part of responding to stewardship call is learn to invest. When we talk about investing, it's not only personal investing is one thing, community investing. What is this? Business engaging disabled people, business green social investments, or there are companies, you know of organizations set up restaurants just to help the poor. Yes, participate. Non-profit organization, cooperative financing, there are societies who give loans to their members at low interest, things like that. This is what we call investing in the long term. Later I will share personal investing. The fifth one, changing organizations and structures of society. By this I mean, for example, you take the example of Joseph, Daniel, Nehemiah. They are all influential in the society, right? God used them. And you might be one of them that God is using in certain position that you can influence the society. Like my brother Samuel. God used him. He's in the position that he can have a lot of influence. And the fourth aspect of this is, what can we expect from God? We can seek God's provisions. We can depend on His provision, and we can be very sure He will provide, because that His original intention when He created Adam and Eve, and that same blessing comes to us. He will definitely provide. But a lot of people say, you've got to provide. We know certain religion also teach that God will provide, then tak payah lah. No need to work lah. No, Bible teaches we can and we should work very diligent. Because even our work, our business is part of God's provision. And the final hope is to understand earthly wealth is temporal. It is a gift of God, you can have it. But better to store up eternal treasures in heaven. So we can have wealth, but we shouldn't pursue it. That should not be our goal. I want to be wealthy, I want to pursue. But you can be wealthy. Nothing wrong with it. You can, have wealth if you know your wealth is just for you, a tool. You are but a God's steward to use it, as what we said just now, how to use it. And how to differentiate whether you are pursuing wealth of God. I've seen a lot of Christians, sad to say, a lot of successful Christians, they get many awards and they post in Facebook, all glory to God. Very good. Very good, brother and sister, that you make and you appreciate God and you praise God, you give testimonies, very good. But my next question is, where do you spend your time, energy, and financial? If you are already so wealthy, earn so much, getting so many awards, what is in your mind? How much of what you earn is returning to God's work, the ministry, helping the poor and needy? And what is your mind? Is your mind because you are enjoying that? Or through your work, you are targeting to share, let people know about God? That is more important. But if that's not in your heart is keep getting to pursue, to get more award, to earn more, to be the top in your respective line, and then just praise God. Do you think that's what God is expecting of you? And leave that open to the respective person to answer. Yeah. So yes, that's our framework. So now I go a little bit in detail. So once you know this framework, of course, the financial planning, you need to have these 5 aspects, which in our courses we also taught all these things. Your income, how to maximize your income, what are the areas we can find, expenses, how to manage it, how to reduce your debt, which is priority, how to prioritize it. If you want to reduce your debt. Your savings, how much to save, how much to invest, asset protection, insurance, making a will. All these are part and parcel. And these are the 5 elements, and then you have the 8 steps how to. So you have these 8 steps, including setting short-term and long-term goals, the debt plans, how to have a plan to settle all your debt. what kind of emergency fund we should have. Estate planning is making a will. Invest. You can't short of this path if you want to have true financial freedoms. Of course, there are professionals, doctors, lawyers who are making lots of money, businessmen. Not necessary. But if you go back to the concept, the biblical concept, it's not for you alone. If you are so comfortable, then why don't you also invest and the extra? You have two choices as a Christian, yeah? Either you give straight away or use your extra money that you are parking in the FD, invest in certain that give you higher return, the extra return, give it up. This is the challenge. Okay, how to protect our assets and then monitor, refine, and then the whole cycle goes again. So our course, we are doing two courses. One is Compass from US. In Chinese, it's called 指南者理财有道, Managing your Finance God's Way. And Compass is from US. Maybe some of you are more the pastors and those more senior, you know. Crown Financial, they have been there since 1985. Okay? And then 2009, the same founder founded Compass to teach in small groups, in cell groups manner, like BSF, discussions, challenges, questions, exercise. Yeah, it's not only teaching you theoretical. Okay, we are global non-profit interdenominational ministry, and we are here to teach you to find solutions to money. So what we do, we teach people what the Bible says about money and possessions, how to apply it and replicate it, not only for yourselves, also to teach other people. And what can you expect? You can expect to learn and grow into true financial freedom, physically and in your mind. To learn how to become free to serve the Lord and to be more generous. This is our course, 9 weeks, 2 hours each week. We have a cell group physical meeting at the moment. So next batch actually start next week actually. We have 24% enrolled actually. So these are the topics we'll be talking. All these are actually part of what we've seen in the framework just now. Okay, we have also other courses, but now we're only doing the first one, the blue one, this one. Okay, so the person to contact is Stephen Low and myself. If you or your churches want to know more, then you can ask us, we can explain. Okay, I want to explain the second one, which to some people more interesting. So, Mastery of Wealth, BMW X3, learn how to invest and to avoid scams and to chart your financial freedom. Okay, these are the courses. Okay, we have seen this. Okay, this picture also, if you have been to insurance or unit trust or other investment properties or whatever, you very frequent you see this. Yeah, very common. So here it says, this part, 95% of the population are in this category. You are an employee, you work for people, or you are self-employed, you are an agent, you drive Grab, or you are a property agent, or even doctors and lawyers, some are in this category. Yeah. They own only 5% of the wealth of this world. 95% of the population earn 5%. And in this column, 5% of the population earn 90%, 95% of wealth. Who are these people? These are the businessmen and investors. And we know this is not easy. Yeah? To do business, you need money, you need network, you need time. You probably need 2-3 years before you come to profitability. So not easy not for everyone. So why don't you think of this as an investor, invest in business that's making money. How to find this business that's making money? So in this course, it's 6 hours one time. We learn about this. What does the Bible say about investing? What are 2 common questions, checklists, biblical reasons, biblical principles, and the most interesting is miracles of compounding. Give me a few minutes. And the aim of this class is to help you find something to achieve X3. What does X3 mean? If you put your money in FD, The average 10 years FD in Malaysia is 2.75%. Now you probably can get 3.84% in FD, yeah? But normal time is about 2%, right? Certain years they're high, low. So average for the last 10 years, 2.75%. So we want to teach you how to find something that can give you 8.1 and above, at least. Something which is proven for many, many years, okay? And how to do it. And invest only in things in line with biblical principles, things that has fundamental. We can talk about crypto, we can talk about all kinds of things. A lot of things are making a lot of money, but are they biblically compliant? And usually I ask this question, a lot of people, most people don't get it correct. What is number one task before executing investment? A lot of people prepare money, seek counsel, learn. All correct. All are important. You need to learn, you need to ask people who experience, you need to prepare your money, plan about it, how much I want to invest, for how long, I need to have backup fund, everything you need to have. But after that, what is the one thing you must do before you really start doing? Actually, it's quite simple, is to ask yourself. Because if you put your money in FD, okay, I go straight. If you put your money in FD, you earn 1 to 3%, we say the risk is very low. Still risk, FD we know, that's why government give insurance, right? So, but the risk is very low, so we say 1 to 3% return. You put your money in bond, in fixed income, it's very low risk. You will probably get 4 to 6%. There are a lot of funds you can get this 4 to 6%. We say 10 years, average per year, 4 to 6. We always take 10 years as a reference. What about gold? If you invest in gold, the risk is medium? What kind of expected return? And all these other things. Yeah. A lot of people don't know. They didn't set a return. They buy unit trust, or people ask me to buy gold. I just buy. I don't know what kind of return. They tell me, oh, it's like 5, 6, 7. Okay, take it. But what kind of risk you are taking? Is it worth it if I'm only getting 6% return? You must ask yourself. A lot of people say, not bad, better than FD enough. No. So in this course, we teach you why, let's say if 6% is not good if you are investing in unit trust, for example. Or why certain unit trust 6% is okay. Yeah? Okay, this Brother Samuel is not here, otherwise he can verify this. These are our housing index, what kind of percentage of property price is going for 10, 15 years. Say why mutual fund is so popular in Malaysia, why in general there are 40 fund management companies and 750 funds with a 500 billion fund in Malaysia. Yeah, why is it so popular? A lot of people think unit trust is high returns, managed by professionals, safe. Yes and no. Yes and no. You will learn why it's yes, why it's no. Okay, do I still have 3 minutes? Can I? Okay, I'll do this then. Quick simulation example for those who have not seen this before. So what is compounding? And I want to teach young people especially, even if you are 30, 40, also can still learn. Yeah? If you are 50 plus, then play safe, like we do the safer one. But for the young people, a lot of people in this, as I said, we said that 50% of our citizens, their parents are in that stage, less than 10,000 EPF. What do you think is the children's mindset? I can tell you hopelessness. And they only have one, quite many, I won't say all, have this one mindset, Give it a fight. Meaning, take a chance, take a bet. When people offer something attractive, they jump into it. 赌一把哦. Just gamble one time. Maybe I make it. But the worst is, they fell into scams, they lose everything, and the implication is not only them, their parents, their relatives, teachers, businessmen, also the next scam. So we need to learn this, to give a hope, to have a hope is bookable if you do it in the proper way, if you plan it properly. What is this saying? If you save 4,000 a year, let's say you are a fresh graduate, I only ask you to save 4,000 a year, meaning 330 a month, right? 330 a month meaning what? $11 around, correct? 11 ringgit a month, a day. Can you save 11 ringgit a day? As a young people, fresh graduate, you just don't go to Starbucks or go kopitiam. Eat one less cheesecake, one less bubble tea. Understand? Possible. I ask young people, they say, yes, I think can. 300 to save 330 a month. Possible. That means you save 4,000 a year for your first 10 years. Don't buy car, don't buy anything, house. Plan it, save 10 years. So you save 40,000 by the time you are 30 years old. Okay? If this 40,000 you put in bank with interest 2.75%, you don't touch it every year, you keep, let it grow. By the time you are 60 years old, you have 105,000. Okay? That's normal savings. But if you put the same money into an investment that gives you 8% or 8.1%, you will reach the minimum 600,000 needed for retirement. A lot of young people say 60 years old, very low, but it triggers something in them. It triggers, hey, if I can do this with 4,000, only save 10 years, no, that means from 30 years onwards, I don't have to save anything. If I keep saving, keep investing, even when I reach 30 years old, I reach this 40,000, I keep investing. And as I work, I earn more money, right? If you have more experience, you earn more money. Now let's say you're earning 3,000 a year, a month, probably by then, 10 years, you're earning about 6,000 a month. If I invest more, I can reach this much faster. Or I don't touch it. Okay. This is what we want them to see. It is hope if you do it in a proper way, that you can have your retirement, you can help people also. And anyone want to guess? If I change the 8%, if you find something that can give you 10 to 12%, what is that figure? The 600,000 will change to what? Normal mathematics will tell you 8% to 12% is 150%, right? So 600 times 150% is 900 over 1,000, correct? Here is why compounding is so powerful. Let's say you find something 12%. If you invest correctly and find something, that's the impact. It's not only the 150% you're looking. So, personally, collectively, we have to learn it. Biblical principles, example, show us 5 loaves, 2 fish. The disciple letting off the net and catch more than they can. God's principle and God's intention is He will provide. The question is, do you have the right mindset and heart? If you have the right mindset and heart, God will provide so that you can use the resources to let it flow, let it multiply and do many things. Sometime I'm going to share another testimony. Okay, so that's what I want to share with you. Right. Okay, so that's the end. Basically, the goal is to help you to be a financial steward, be kingdom's ambassador and faithful servant, to understand the risks of different investment. In the course, I show you investment in property, in gold, in unit trust, in share market, Malaysia and overseas, and different type of investment. What kind of risk we are talking about, and how can we find one that is able to give us at least extreme, above 8%. That's what I do. Okay, thank you very much. I'm exceeding the time. Sorry.